On this episode of Meatball Garage, we tune a 351 and bring some life into it. Right, welcome back to Meatball Garage, where I break stuff so you don't have to. Today, well tonight, we're going to start a little job on the Clevo to just try and make it less shit when it's running. It's currently rich, and I'm talking really rich. If you have a look at these couple of spots on the floor, when I've started it, it spews out the smoke, it pukes, it gurgles, it's got horrific fuel economy. Look, it's always run rich, it's always fouled plugs, but it hasn't been this bad for a long time. So I'm going to do a couple of things to try and make it less rich. So far, I have adjusted the idle circuit on the carby. I actually went around with a vacuum gauge and worked out how many inches of vacuum I could get out of it, and I've got about 9 inches of vacuum, which for me that means I should have a 4.5 power valve in the carby, but we'll blow it apart and see what's in there. I've also got some new jets to try. So first job tonight is I'm going to take the plugs out, have a look and just see how black they are, and give them a bit of clean up with brake clean. You can get all this done at a shop or a dyno shop, but I'm a bit of a DIY person, and you know what, if it takes me 2 to 3 weeks mucking about on a weekends to get this close enough, I'll be happy. To me, it's all about the process. And look, I've got a YouTube channel, so it'd be pretty crappy content by just saying, hey look, I just spent $300-400 at a dyno shop and they got it singing for me. How crap would that be? How much swearing would that involve? Probably none. How much swearing is this going to involve? Probably lots, and you're going to see it all here. Anyway, let's grab the plugs and see how bad they are. For a Clevo, it's really handy if you've got one of these spark plug sockets, and what it'll do is when you've got your plug in the head, pop it in like that, it'll locate itself magnetically, so once it's loose and it's free, it'll come out like so, and then you can go, whoa, look how rubbish that looks. Now, generally you wouldn't need to jack your car up to change the spark plugs, but if you drop one, you will. Have a look at this. Can you see that just in there? Yep, just on top of the starter. Thank you very much, you bastard. Got it. One bank down. Right, have a look at these things, guys. Don't they look absolutely beautifully rich? Shit house. They're shocking. Okay, let me get the brake clean out and a wire brush and give these a once over, and then whack them back in the car. Right, these have cleaned up pretty good. Are they going to be as good as brand new plugs? No. Are they going to do for what I need them to do, which is when I change the jets, bring them out, read them, see if they're black again? Yes. These are NGK plugs that I'm using. These are BP6FS plugs. Next step is I'm going to take this carby off. Now, I'm not going to do that now because I've had about a half a dozen beers and I don't want to mess this up, and I don't want to drop anything in here, and I don't want to spill juice everywhere. And I've even just taken a slice out of my hand just by making that hand movement on the bloody carby itself. So look at that. Isn't that great? Good job, idiot. Oh, fair dinkum. Time to go to bed, I think. Time to go to bed. We're back. It's the next day. Feeling okay after the couple I had yesterday. I'm going to remove the carby today. To do this, I just got to get rid of this accelerator linkage. From a fuel point of view, I might just undo it from here, the fuel filter. That way, hopefully, I minimise all the fuel spilling out from the carby and the lines all around here. Yeah, so you stay like that. That's it. Thank you. Remove the spring. Don't lose that. You beauty. And safety first. Like a big fuel-y jigsaw puzzle. I'm sure you can do it the other way, but hey, I'm a hack. That's why you're watching this. So I'm going to take off the front bowl, and then we're going to have a look at what's actually in the metering block in terms of jetting and power valve. Oh, there we are. Oh, fuck, how does that go in? Ah, forgot all about this bit. Where does this go and what does it do? Shit. Did it go like that or the other way? Oh, look on the internet. We have, yep, 75s, so they're pretty big. Right, turns out we just needed to give the metering block a little bit of persuasion to break it free. And yeah, I thought so. 4.5. So that's the right power valve for this carby, if you like. Given that it sucks about 8.5 to 9 inches of vacuum at idle. So that's right. We've figured out that that should go in like so. So this is a baffle, and I've got no idea how it was like or fitted before, but that should sit like that. All right, let's pull the secondary block off and have a look what we have inside. '80s. So what now? I have got 78s and I have got 71s. I'm going to chuck the 71s in the primary bowl, or the primary metering block, and the 78s in the secondary metering block. Now, I've chosen these very, very carefully based on two things. One, I've got the 78s and I've had them for ages. Why? I can't remember where I bought them, so that means they are perfect for the secondaries. And the 71s is the smallest I could get from VPW. So let's chuck these new jets in and button it all back up. Oh, I forgot to put the back one on, idiot. Well, lucky I came back to have a look at the PCB, because then what caught my eye was it looked like there was some daylight in the fuel hose. Have a look at that. So either went off twisted that, it has been. Went off twisted that, it's absolutely come apart, and look at that. Oh, it's actually just popped straight out. And that hose looks like it's pretty cactus. Having a look here, it looks like I've done the same thing here. So I've never worked with braided hoses before, and well, look, first time for everything. This won't be going back on the car today. I'll be taking these off and then researching what fuel line to put on there, but it's okay. It's pouring rain outside and my demeanor's fine, because I've learnt that, you know, things happen. I was never going to get this on the road this weekend. I was always going to have something go wrong. That's okay. It's all part of the fun. Stay tuned. Hey, same hat, different day. Let me tell you what I've done. All the plugs are back in the car, and I've fastened all the leads up as well. One thing I was mindful of was making sure that the leads had proper contact with the plugs. These MSD plugs, the boots are pretty long on them, and you have to really get in there. And it's a bit tricky with the Clevo as well, because you don't have much room in there. Second thing, I went and found this really nice fuel feed line going into the double pumper carby. This is a ProFlow unit. It looks pretty good, and from all the research I did, this style with the silver braided line in the middle will allow you to take off a bowl at a time if you need to take off a bowl at a time. Those really nice, cool, slick chrome units look good, but everyone says they're a bit of a pain in the ass to work with. So I went with this one. It's a bit more expensive, but it looks awesome. Third thing I did is I've whacked this GT style aluminium fuel line from the pump to the carby on the car. I've had this thing laying around for years, right? And I've never put it on the car. Everyone said you should have as much solid line on the pressure side of your pump, so I've bit the bullet and chucked this on. That means I'm upgrading the fuel hose on this side of the pump as well from 5/16 to 3/8, and it also means I've had to go get another fuel filter. So this filter is a Z153K from Ryco. It's suitable for 3/8 or 10mm lines. It's going to replace this Z14 that I've been running on it for however long. What that means now, guys, is my fuel line from the tank to the pump is now 1/2 inch, and from the pump to the carby will be 3/8. So I've gone up a whole size, which is really good, I think. Anyway, I'm going to whack the carby back on, and then with that on, I can dummy up a hose going from this new line here to put the filter, and then from the filter back into the carb, and we can button everything back up. When you're doing the carby up, you're supposed to do it in a crisscross manner. You don't have to go stupid tight. This is what we've ended up with here. We've got a little bit of hose going from the line to the filter, and then the filter to the barb going into the dual, what do you call that thing? Double pumper arrangement, like so. Is it neat and tidy? Not really. Is it better than what was there before? Well, the majority of the line now on the pressure side of the pump is hard line, so I'd say yes. Now I just need to nip up the accelerator cable and the PCV valve to the back of the carby and my vacuum for the dizzy, and then I might fire it up and hopefully nothing leaks. Clean. Yeah, get to the carby. Nothing, no. Oh, yep, at the back here. It's not from that one. It's not from that one. It's from this back cap. Okay, so that's leaking a little bit. What about over here? That looks okay. Fine. All right, we just got to do that back cap back up a bit more. Hopefully that'll do it. Oh, it's fucking pissing out from there. Malacca! Alright. Uno momento. So that's all clean. Alright, let's check it out. What's going on? It's fucking pissing out! What the fuck, man? Look! What is the story? Found the leak. Wasn't a leak. I'll show you what happened. You know how on these things you've got like a bit on the other side where you put your fuel pressure gauge sometimes? Loose as. Seriously. Oh, you fucker! Anyway, that was empty. Sorry, that was loose as, and I've just got to do that up and we'll be fine. This is why I show this stuff. You see, I don't check things. I'm just learning as I go, and someone that knows what they're doing would take 10 minutes to do this, but I'm figuring it out. So now next time I do this, I'll check that every orifice is tight like a tiger. Okay, come on, last one. This should do it. Still a little bit of leak. And it is coming from that fucking thing here. Oh! Right, I'll show what I mean. So when I stuck the bloody Allen key in there to tighten that up, I have threaded it and it is not sealed up properly. So I have this piece of thing, this T-piece, this beautiful T-piece, which is now useless and ruined. So off back to VPW tomorrow to say, look, I just need one of these, and I don't want one with a bullshit thing here because I don't care about a fuel pressure sender. Right, nothing like a morning run to VPW to get a replacement part for one that you broke. So I've got myself a new T-piece, one that does not have a outlet for a fuel pressure gauge, so that eliminates that as a potential stuff up for any more fuel leaks. So I'm just going to do all this off camera and then I'll show you the results. Fingers crossed. Okay. Plenty of fuel pressure. Moment of truth. Oh, looks dry. It's dry. It's dry. Is it dry there? Yep. Dry. 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 Excellent. That is a winning formula. That's dry. We know that's fine. Yeah, all right. I'm comfortable with that. Let's fire it up properly. Right, I've done a little check over the motor and I've whacked the timing light on because it just sounded a bit shit. Turns out that my vacuum hose here isn't getting vacuum. So if it's sitting loose like that, if I give it a good squeeze, it gets vacuum and the distributor advances the timing as you should get with a vacuum advanced distributor. But just left there to its own devices, yeah, it's not liking it. So I reckon that is probably some cause of it running a bit shit as well. So I'll give that a chop and maybe chuck a cable tie over it and hopefully get the vacuum that it deserves. Right, I've just annoyed the neighbours and run some numbers using my timing light, and this is what I've found. My initial timing is around about 13, and that's working it out between the marked lines on the harmonic balancer. So the first big mark is at 10, the second at 15, then you've got a little one at 20 and a little one at 30. With the VAC Advance, the initial timing is about 16-ish, so I reckon I could bump up the initial a 15th. And why I reckon that too is my total timing when I give it the beans in at about $4,000. It's kind of like at 25. Now that's nothing from what I've read about these Clevos. That should be like 35, 38 or something like that. Before I start mucking about with the timing, I've just marked on the Dizzy in relation to the, what do you call this thing? The Dizzy hold down thing, where it is at the moment. So in case I go too far or too lost or I can't be bothered and I just want to put it back for the time being, I could just easily locate it. But I've loosened that, and that'll give me some adjustment. Ideally, I'll bring up the timing to about 16 to 18 and just see how that goes. Surely it's going to be an improvement to what it is now. Right, I'm going to use my reference chart. now. It's about 31, 32 total. So I've ended up with about 16, 17 degrees initial timing and total timing just over 30, which should be okay. I've read a lot of guys who run these up to 35, some up to like 38, so that should be plenty. And it should be so much better than 25. Come on. So what I'll do now is I'm going to have a drive of this thing, not today, and we'll come back and see what it's like. Ooh, righty-ho. We are out in the outer suburbs of my super secret testing area, and we're going to give this a drive. Now, I can tell you a couple of things quickly already. Just putting around, it is so much more crisp than what it was. It is a lot more responsive when you mash it. I have had a couple of lean conditions or pops out of the carby. I have backed the timing off, but that was after I advanced it just a tiny bit, trying to eke every last bit of performance out of this thing. So I think we're back to where we started, where I mentioned about 2 seconds ago where the timing is. Let's go for a drive and see how it goes. Okay, first up guys, we're just going to give it a punch from a dig and just see how we go. Shit. Well, she lit him up. So I'm just going to go into second gear now and just give it a punch and put the engine on the load from about 2000 RPM, 30 miles an hour, full throttle. Pulls good. Pulls good to 50 mile an hour. Beautiful. Feels really strong too. Really strong. And now just putting about, that feels so much more snappy. Just a really, really light throttle. So hopefully with the vacuum advance now secure, and that timing advanced anyway, that means I'm getting more timing now, which means it's burning better. It'll probably run cooler as well, and hopefully use less juice. So let's give it a kick down up the hill. Full throttle, 40 mile an hour. Yeah, beautiful. Fantastic. Yeah, this goes heaps better. And I can't replicate any of that lean condition anyway, that popping out of the thing. Oh yeah, bloody marvellous. Marvellous with the views, my favourite views. Lovely. Look at my nice dash. And my shift light, which doesn't know what day it is. Oh, beautiful. I'll shut up. Jubbly. Right, that's enough guys. Pretty happy with how it goes. It still does foul the plugs a little bit. It still gets a bit of carbon build-up. I did check one before this drive and after the last one, but I've got a trick up my sleeve, or one last trick I'm going to try to fix myself here, and you'll see that on an upcoming video. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to go have a bit of fun now, but anyway, see you in the next video. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Chicka chow.